but as long as my impact is there every night, I should be okay. As long as I make an all defensive team, that means something. But defensive player of the year probably be hard for me, but MVP and championship, that's the goal.
Anthony Edwards has been putting in serious work throughout the offseason. And after several training sessions with Michael Jordan himself, the NBA world is starting to realize that something different is developing with Antman.
Anthony Edwards shows up to the Timberwolves practice facility in June, and he was a consistent part of playing and participating in all basketball activities in that facility from June onward, the entire offseason. And what the Timberwolves saw is leadership from him, and that meant that other players, other vets on that team followed suit. And it was a very active gym for the Timberwolves in the offseason.
But this isn't just your normal offseason training. This is a calculated transformation by one of the league's most competitive minds. And according to reports, he showed up in a competitive body too.
My understanding is he showed up to training camp with a 3.5% body fat percentage.
Isn't that like what bodybuilders have?
And how did it happen? It's all thanks to one specific offseason adjustment that has already changed the math for Minnesota. And just wait till you see what MJ told Antman in practice. But before we get to that, let's start with what Antman is already good at, but getting great at. For years, the problem with the Timberwolves was simple: hero ball. Edwards was asked to do too much. He was a dynamic scorer, but often he was forced into contested shots because the defense knew exactly what was coming. It was predictable. Ant gets the ball, Ant drives, Ant shoots. But even as he was putting up high numbers, the problem was still there. They needed him to be a creator, not a finisher. Yes, Antman played fast, but not smart enough. However, all that changed this summer. Antman realized that to take the next step, he had to become a floor general. He had to stop looking at the rim every time and start looking at the corners. And here's how MJ helped him with that.
We just talked about if Rudy gets the rebound, Mike should be the only one that come back to it. I think we did a bad job of last year, just everybody coming back to the ball.
So that would end hero ball, but more importantly, listen to how it helps him catch and shoot.
I've been working on that. Everybody know I'm pretty good at catching and shooting. So me sprinting the floor, Mike pushing the ball down, hitting Rudy, and come setting the pin down, I can play out of the corner. So
this was a deliberate choice to elevate his game from isolation scorer to offensive engine. The goal wasn't just to score 30 points, it was to ensure that the team won. But the key to this transformation wasn't adding a new shot, it was adding a new mindset. One of the things that Anthony Edwards has been working hard on during the offseason is his court vision and control. The league already respects him as a scorer. He was recently voted as the best shooting guard entering the season. But stopping Antman this season is going to be something different, especially when he gets into his playmaking groove. This isn't just about throwing the ball to an open man. It's about his refinement of the pistol dribble, a quick burst that forces the defender to commit their hips, creating a half-second window for a pocket pass or a skip. This kind of move will help him better control the pace and direction of the attack. But it's not just moves like this that Ant has been working on. Like, do you know that this man is also good at throwing hands? We'll show you that later, but here is Ant talking about what he's been learning from the greats.
When you see tape, when you watch tape of a Mike, Kobe, other greats, what are you looking for? What are you looking for when you watch them?
I'm looking at like angles of how they attacking their defender, because I really want to see them go against the best defenders. I know I can score on a lot of people, but it's the best defenders that I got to get used to scoring on.
His confidence is so high, he wants to be the personal assignment of every top defender in the league. But how does this shift impact the Timberwolves system? First, it takes pressure off the other guards and it turns Julius Randle into an even more dangerous stretch big. This is the key to finally getting the offense where it needs to be. However, does this mean that the Timberwolves are ready to do what MJ and the Bulls did in 1991? Is Antman really developing like MJ did then? First off, the Anthony Edwards-Michael Jordan comparisons are often lazy. By the way, Ant has made it clear that their relationship is not as close as people like to imagine.
What's that relationship?
It's not really a relationship right now. It's more so like through somebody. But yeah, we'll get there.
Hopefully they'll get there soon. But when comparing the two, people often focus on the high-flying dunks, the tongue-out finishes, and the confident trash talk. But that is just the surface. The true Jordan comparison isn't about the shots he made. It's about the way he solved problems. And Jordan's way of doing even the smallest things is different from most players. Just wait and see the tip that Ant said MJ gave him. But let's talk more on the transformation between the two men. When Jordan entered the league, he was a dynamic scorer, but it wasn't until late in the 80s and the early 90s that he unlocked the playmaking and defensive IQ that turned him into the greatest. He learned to trust his teammates, manipulate the defense with his gravity, and, most importantly, control the pace of the game. Anthony Edwards is finally making that same leap. He's taking note of the little things too. Here, he talks about MJ giving him tips.
The thing about Mike in the post, he like leans back. Most people like just go like this and use their butt. He used his, he gave me some tips on why he do that. So I learned something in the post this year for sure.
Interestingly, just like Edwards is now, Jordan too was also criticized for being a volume scorer who couldn't elevate his teammates. It took some time and lots of practice before MJ got it right, but he did, and so can Antman. Edwards already has that competitive nature, and just like Jordan, it's making him a better two-way player. His defensive intensity, often forgotten behind the highlights, is now becoming a steady, game-changing force. He's translating his competitive fire from isolation scoring to team-wide impact, both offensively and defensively. And he's doing that while throwing punches? But the question is, how far can this take him? Jordan's transformation led to 6 championships. Anthony Edwards still has enough time to replicate and even surpass that. Edwards changing his game is the first step. The second step is the Timberwolves finally understanding how to use this new version of their star.
Serious now for sure, yeah, because we trying to get back to the number one defense in the league, and I know it starts with me, especially my pressure on the ball. Like I can't guard one game and not guard the next game because we playing, somebody who's not up to par. I got to be ready every night, and I'm gonna take pride in that. And I told my teammates to hold me accountable, coaches included.
This new Antman wants to be more of a team player than he was before. So now, Rudy Gobert gets easier role opportunities, and Randall gets more space to operate from the perimeter. When Ant drives now, the defense has 2 choices. Stop the drive by collapsing on him. In that case, he'll simply hit the rolling big man or skip it to the corner. Secondly, they could decide to stay home. But if they do that, he'll just finish strong at the rim, which he can do better than anyone. This is the binary choice that breaks defenses. However, this new move has one fatal flaw that defenses will eventually find. Because he's so focused on the pass after the pistol dribble, he occasionally overcommits his pivot foot, leading to a travel call or a stripped ball if the defense anticipates the read. This small technical weakness is the key to stopping the new Antman. But will they find it? Probably not. Because this new Anthony Edwards has realized that true dominance isn't just about scoring 30. It's about controlling the game. Something different that has been developing with Anthony Edwards is that he is a high IQ playmaker hiding inside one of the most explosive athletes in the NBA. He's making his teammates better, he's making the offense fluid, and he's making the Timberwolves a legitimate contender. This is the transformation that will put him squarely in the MVP discussion. But do you think this new playmaking level makes Antman the best two-way guard in the league? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to see another star who is changing his entire game to dominate the league, watch. Something different is unleashing from Victor Wembanyama next.